Good evening, Dhamma friends. First of all, I wanted to wish everyone a happy New Year 2026. And it's happy seeing all of you uh, on the first day of this year for the class. So, wishing you a wonderful year with all the good things uh, that should be coming along the way. Okay. So, with that in mind, let us get started our OPRC class day 109 and Dhammapada stanza 91 by paying respect to the Buddha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. As you can remember, that we could cover one verse from the chapter called Arahant, right? And then we are supposed to continue with the second stanza of the chapter on Arahants. So the reason why we study about uh, the characteristics, or I would say the nature of Arahant is to truly understand the way how they respond to events, how they manage their life, how they manage their mental states. Right? So without further ado, let us take a look at the stanza at this point. Stanza number 91. Right. Uyunjanti sati manto nikete ramantite hansaව පල්ලලං හිත්වා ඕක මොකං ජහන්තිතේ උයුං ජන්ති සතිමන්තෝ න නිකේතේ රමන්තිතේ hansaව පල්ලලං හිත්වා ඕක මොකං ජහන්තිතේ. All right, so now we'll be asking from groups to read. First of all, I would ask from group one to read. Somebody from group one? Yes, Mary, please go ahead.
Thank you to Bhante. Happy New Year.
Happy New
New Year,
Year.
everyone. Yuyun janti santi manto. Ne nikite ramantite. Hamsawa palalang hitwa. Oka mokang jahantite.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Bhante.
And group two? Yes, May On, please.
Thank you, Bhante. Unyun janti sati manto na nikete ramanti te hamsawa palalam hitwa oka mokam jahanti te.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Bhante.
And group three? Someone from group three? Yes, Chupin, please.
Good evening, Bhante.
Yes, good
Happy
evening.
New Year.
Happy New Year too.
Uju janti santi manto, ne nikete ramanti te. Hamsawa palanang hitwa, oka mukang jahanti te.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Bhante.
And group four? Yes, Owen, please.
Happy New Year, Bhante.
Happy New Year. Yes.
Uyun janti santimanto, na nikete rimantite. Hamsawa palalang hitwa, Ukamakang Jahantite.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Bhante.
And group 5. Yes, Belinda, please. Can you unmute your audio, please?
Okay. Thank you,
Yes.
Bhante. Happy New Year,
Happy New Year.
everyone, and Bhante. Huy Yun Janti Jat Sati Manto Na Nikete Ramanti Te Hamsawa Palanan Hitwa Okamokam Jahanti Te.
Okay, great.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Bhante.
Yes, group 6. Yes, TC, please.
Bhante, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year too.
Happy New Year, brother and sister. Uyun Janti Sati Manto Na Nikete Ramanti Te Hamsawa Palanam Hitwa Pukamukam Jahanti Te.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
And group 7. Yeah, group 7. If not, group 8. Yes, Doris, please.
Happy New Year, Bhante.
Happy New Year.
Uyun Janti Satimanto Ne Nikete Ramantite Hamsava Palalam Hitwa Okamukam Jahantite.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes. Now we will be asking others if you want to read. So please raise your virtual hand. We will start with Kim. Yes, Kim, please.
Happy New Year, Bhante.
Happy New Year. Yes.
Okay. Yun Janti Satimanto.
Uyunjan. Uyunjan. Two point here. Yes.
Yun Janti Satimanto. Na Nikate Ramantite. Hamsawa Palalang Hitwa. Oka Mukang Jahante. Jahantite.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Yes. And then Holly. Yes.
Thank you, Bhante. Happy New Year to Bhante and everyone.
Yes.
Uh,
Happy New Year
Uyun
too.
Janti Santimanto Na Nikete Ramantite Ham Sawa Palalang Hitwa Okamokam Jahantite.
Okay, great.
Okay, thank you, Bhante.
And then Lisa. Yes.
Oh, good evening, Bhante, and
Good
Happy New
evening.
Year, everyone. Uyun Jante Santi Manto, Na Nikete Ramanti Te, Ham Sava Palalam Hitva, Oka Mokam Jahanti Te.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Yes. And then Chan.
Good evening, Bhante. Happy
Good
New Year,
evening.
Bhante.
Happy New Year
Happy New
too.
Year, everyone.
Yes.
Okay. Uyun Janti Sati Manto Na Nikete Ramanti Te Ham Sava Pala Lam Hitva Oka Mokam Jahanti Te.
Okay, great. And Sinfong. Yes. Yes. Sinfong, please. Yes. Sinfong, on my side, I cannot hear you. I don't know whether others can hear you. Yeah. Hmm. Still we have the issue. Perhaps your mic. Yes.
Uyun
Great.
Janti.
Hey, great. And then Anne Sue, please.
Evening, Bhante.
Good evening.
Happy New Year, Bhante.
Happy New Year.
Brothers and sisters. Uyun janti sati manto na nikate ramantite hang sawa pala lang hitwa oka mokang jahantite.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Bhante.
And then Margaret, please.
Evening, Bhante.
Good evening.
Happy New Year to you and to
Happy.
all the brothers and sisters too.
Yes, Happy New Year to you too. Yes.
Uyun janti sati manto na nikete ramanti te ham sabwa pala lam hitwa oka mokam jahanti te.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Bhante.
And then Susan.
Oh, thank you, Bhante. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year to you. Yes.
Uyun janti sati manto no nikete ramanti te samsara palalam hitva okamokam jahanti te.
Susan, would you like to go with the third line again, please?
Hamsara
Yes.
palalam. Is that okay, Bhante?
Yes, great.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Finally, Pallavi. It's Pallavi.
Vandami Bhante, wish you Happy New Year, Bhante.
Happy New Year too.
And to everybody. Yunjanti sati manto, na nikete ramanti te, hansava pallalam hitva okamokam jayanti te. Thank you, Bhante.
Jahanti te.
Jahanti te. Thank you,
Jahanti.
Bhante.
Yes. All right. Who else would like to read at this point? Anybody else? All right. If there is no one at this point, let us then move on to our explanations part. First, we are going to look at the stanza again for the literal meaning, and then the contextual meaning, and the story, and then the teachings. Uyung janti satimantu. There are two Y here. Uyung janti. Uyung janti satimantu na nikete ramantite. Hansav pallalang hitwa okamokam jahantite. Now, the stanza, I just tell you the overall idea of the stanza. The stanza is teaching us, giving us an idea about how Arahants regard or they think about places where they stay. Now, you know, when you stay in one place for a long time, you naturally create a certain attachment, right? Not even some people even create attachment for the houses. Even when they sell their things also, they are still creating the attachment. I see, look at that car, you know, that was used by me 10 years back. So I sold to some people. The car was possessed by somebody else now, but still having the attachment to the thing. So in the same way, this stanza teaches us how Arahants look at the places where they stay, temples, monasteries, forests, kutis, you name it. So I think by the end of learning about this stanza, what we need to understand, especially as lay people, what you need to understand is that how to have a better idea about the places where we stayed. So how to create a fluid understanding about our places of stay, not clinging to one particular place, right? So this is the overall idea. So with that in mind, let us now look at individual lines here. Uyunjanti satimanto. So satimanto uyunjanti. May I know what is sati? SATI. What does sati mean to you?
Mindfulness.
Mindfulness, awareness.
Right mind. It's not mindfulness. Huh? Right? Because normally when you talk about arahants, their mindfulness, it is not mindful. It is right mindfulness. Why? Why we have to take it as right mindfulness? Because there is a
Wrong
wrong mindfulness. right? So don't know what we mean by mindfulness. Is it wrong mindfulness or right mind? It's like dana, right? You can't say just give dana. What dana are you giving? Ethical dana, unethical dana? Somebody rob a bank, huh? Somebody take bribes and using that money to give a dana. That is not going to be a dana, unethical dana. Or maybe commissioning in wrong ways, badly, cheating on other people and making a lot of money and then spending that money for things. In Buddhist teachings, uh, not the physical giving matters. What matters is that how you earn the money for the dana and the mind that you are, thoughts that you are having before, during, after dana, right? All these are mattering. So in the same way, satimanto here means right mindfulness. This is what we are also supposed to have in our life. But there is a difference between and us and arahants with regard to right mindfulness. May I know what is the difference between our right mindfulness and their right mindfulness? What would you think about it? Our right mindfulness is always
mundane, worldly.
Yeah, at the same time, by effort, right?
Yes.
By effort.
Theirs is effortless.
Yes, theirs is effortless. It is natural. Now, even whatever the good things we are cultivating in our life, five precepts, and all these good mental states, one day should come to a level of effortlessness. That means we are naturally going on to certain higher levels in our mental states. So the basic difference between ordinary people's right mindfulness and enlightened beings' right mindfulness is that ordinary beings' right mindfulness is effortful, by effort, and whereas enlightened ones' right mindfulness is automatic, natural, right? So this is what we need to learn here. So now arahants are naturally with right mindfulness, and they are doing something now here. What is that? Uyunjanti. What does Uyunjanti mean? Let us go down here. Here we have to learn something about Uyunjanti. Let's see here. There are 5 things they are doing with regard to Uyunjanti. Uyunjanti, they apply themselves, can be understood as referring to the Arahant's active engagement with wholesome mental processes through 5 modes of discipline application. So when they are with right mindfulness, striving diligently mean they are applying themselves through 5 things. Number 1, avajjana. Avajjana means turning the thoughts toward wholesome states. This refers to consciously directing attention toward one's own kusala dharmas, clearly recognizing their presence without distraction or negligence. I mean, this is also natural for them, but it is happening in their process of applying themselves. Avajjana, turning the thoughts toward wholesome states. Now, that means arahants turning their thoughts toward kusala states is also natural. How about us? Do we have to struggle for that? Yes, we are going here and there, right? So, I mean, if you look at how we spend the day with regard to greed, hatred, illusion, we also have a certain challenge sometimes. Right? It depends on the practice. Somebody might be better than another person. But it still tells us practice has mattered to us. Depending on the practice, we still have a certain challenge. But avajjana, which is a part of uyunjanti with regard to arahants, is natural. So they are turning the thoughts toward wholesome states. Second, having done that, samapajjana, entering or assessing wholesome states. Here the thoughts intentionally tapping to and abide in those already arisen wholesome mental qualities allowing them to become experientially established.
Turning thoughts
I
to
think we also can experience this. Think about a moment that you were very much altruistic about something. I mean, you had less jealousy compared to a moment where you were full of jealous and jealous thoughts. So we can remember that moment. That was a very light moment, right? Less comparisons. Although you are driven to compare, but you see that, no, I don't have to compare myself with somebody, or I don't have to compare another person to me, right? Now think about our mental states. How would everybody celebrate January 1st, 2026 today? Am I celebrating to the best of me? Right? If you ask this question from you, why should I be bothered by comparisons about celebrating January 1st? Right? If I think that I can reduce my lobha dosa moha, that could be a better moment of spending my day, right? What if that someone is fully driven by lobha dosa moha and making millions of, maybe hundreds of resolutions today? Okay, by March I have to lose 5 kilo of my body. I'm overweight by January 1st. But by March I want to reduce 5 kilo. Is it a very realistic plan? I mean, how is it going to work out? Maybe by the end of December 2026, I should be this and that. Perhaps it might not be very realistic. That's why Buddhism says, don't make resolutions, make aspirations. That's a good way to look at this. Right? I think during this time, since yesterday, we are very much excited, and then we are very much looking forward to what is happening to me now this year, next, this January, February. Will I be able to make my plans as I make, right? So Buddhism says you don't have to rush, don't have to hurry, make realistic plans. Anytime we should be able to adjust. If I'm not happy with my plan, why should I be bothered by it? Right? I have to make a buffer. I have to have a buffer to just adjust myself. Okay, I don't think this is a good plan for me. So I want to make an aspiration, something that I can feel I can change myself. Career, money, people, right? Kalyana Mittas. What else? My perspectives about politics, global stuff, everything, right? So, I'm trying to say that what if that we make an aspiration with very less of greed, hatred, delusion, rather than being very super excited on January 1st, making a lot of resolutions based on greed, hatred, delusion. It's something I think very interesting to think about. So here, arahants, they are naturally bringing, as you can see here under, I think, samapajjana, entering into their wholesome states, which they have experienced before. Right? Now, think about, you have been to a restaurant. You must have had a very tasty dessert, right? And now you have another chance of going into a similar restaurant. So would the previous taste affect you in choosing the dessert in this time? It can affect you. Now think about this from a wholesome state. Understand, arahants know how important is it to be less greedy, less frustrated, less angry. And definitely they have gone out of all these three. So if we take it to our side in our daily life, what if that we can think about a mini moment of generosity, loving kindness, wisdom? I think we want to go back there, right? We want to go back there then so then arahants, according to, this Uyun Janti explanation, they are
Uyun
full
Janti.
of right mindfulness, and then they are first turning their thoughts into kusala states. Second, they are, as you can see under samapajjana, they are entering or accessing into those wholesome states. Third, now what is necessary at this point? Adhitthana, determination. This denotes the firm resolve to sustain and remain with those wholesome states, preventing regression into unwholesome patterns. This is very interesting. Sometimes we know that, I'm very less frustrated. Just think about, if you have gone into that moment of time. But my energy into maintaining this state of less frustration is not enough. I know what is good and what is bad, but my energy is not enough for me to stay on to that particular mental state so that I might be in trouble. So arahants duly understand this, so they maintain their energy, right? Samma vayam or virya here. Adhitthana. Then utthana, rousing energy. This involves rising from a particular wholesome state at the appropriate time without attachment, so that the thoughts remain dynamic rather than fixated. That's a pretty interesting thing, right? Let's say they have been practicing, they have been practicing kindness all the way, right? So what do you think? Can they only be kind all the time, and are they not interested about pursuing their own mental states too? Yes, while we are keeping kindness, while they are keeping their own kindness, they have to rise from certain mental states time to time and then pay attention to other mental states also. Kindness, loving kindness, compassion, kindness, altruistic joy, equanimity. So they are, while they are maintaining all those four, time to time, they are particularly putting their priority into certain mental states. That is called utthana. Last one with regard to this Uyun Janti here, applying themselves with right mindfulness, is Paccavekkhana, wise reflective review. Finally, the Arahant reflects discerningly upon all mental phenomena that have arisen and seeing them clearly as conditioned, impermanent. This would be not self, not self. What does it mean? Now, arahants are not disturbed or troubled by even doing the kusala states, because they are at the end trying to look at the conditioning nature of all these mental states. Is it very important to understand conditions in our life? Because normally we look at cause effect, hetu pala, right? What causes this something, good or bad, and how we ended up in that effect of the cause. I think these are the two polar opposites of our understanding about what's happening to us. But arahants are always looking at conditions that are created by causes as well as effects, pala. Are we trying to look at the conditions in our life? What are the conditions here? Now think about a very good example today is time, right? Now, why has 2026 come to us today? Because time has been going, right? It is a fluid thing, right? In another 365-ish days, we are having another new year, right? 2027, right? This is what is happening. Now, the thing is that now, if you are very much concerned about the conditions of timing, now 2026, why 2026 came? Nowadays we don't feel time is going that far, right? Time is going very fast compared to 20, 30 years back, right? Why? We are so busy with a lot of things. And you might have felt like, I need more time to do certain things. So if someone is interested about timing, timing and all this, what is happening to us, days are passing, months are passing, weeks are passing, then we have to look at the conditions that cause us to spend this timing. What are the conditions for us to spend the timing? Then we will have to look at inside. We will have to see what am I doing during this year? What have I been doing in the last year? Otherwise, every time when you hit the first day of the year, you might not be happy, right? Because you are not happy about the conditions of the year, right? So that's why we need to end up with, at least some sort of happiness, spiritual happiness of engaging in kusala activities that give us a long-term happiness. Just like we gathered today here on the 1st of January, it's a very beautiful thing. When we look back of our classes, 108 classes, almost, we can be happy. We've been learning. And then now what is left with us all the time is how much can I practice according to my own conditions? Our conditions are different here, right? If you look at everybody here, all your conditions are different to somebody else only. So if we understand our own conditions, then it's very easy for us to practice this thing. Arahants, by practicing this uyunjati, application of themselves into the right mindfulness by avajjana, samapajjana, aditthana, utthana, and paccavekkhana. Paccavekkhana means actually reflection is very important about everything, right? So they are doing a reflection. So we could say this is a daily activity. Sati manto uyunjat. Arahants who are having right mindfulness, they are applying themselves into these 5 on a daily basis. At the same time, na nikete ramantite. Te nikete na ramanti. Te means they. Nikete means, that's a very interesting Pali word. Nikete means fix abodes. Te nikete na ramanti. Now there is a certain doctrinal conflict here. If you have read some of the Pali text here, in Uddaka Nikaya itself, there are certain books, especially there are 2 books, if you remember, Theragata and Therigata. Therigata always talk about happy, joyful statements of arahants and male arahants and female arahants. There are very interesting Pali joyful statements some arahants mean. Say for instance, one arahant is saying, by looking at the water, like a very small streamlet, Devocha vassati, Devocha galagalayati. Maybe I'm going to write that for you just to make it interesting. Devocha vassati, Devocha galayati. What does it mean? What does Devo mean here?
Rain.
Rain rains. Rains. Then Devocha galagala, rain flows with the sound of galagala. If you notice how the water is flowing in certain places, galagala sound. So one arahant notices, oh, see, this water is flowing galagala sound. Very interesting. So my question here is that when we look at how water is flowing, do we have this feeling how the water is flowing? Or we are creating our own imaginations about, this is a streamlet, not a big river. This is like the empty people's mind. Empty people are compared to the streamlets. High-minded people are connected to big lakes, right? What is the difference of a big lake, large lake, and a streamlet? What is more noisy? Is it the streamlet or the large lake or big river? What is more noisy?
River.
The streamlet is very noisy, right? It's very noisy. So literature, some of the Buddhist books are saying that people who don't have lots of spiritual qualities, they are making a lot of noise, right? Because they are empty people. But the people who have lots of good qualities, they never brag, they never show off. Just like the lakes, right? What is the proverb that we have about it? There's a proverb about it, right? Idiom or proverb. Um, Still water is deep. Is it that?
Still water runs
Runs
deep.
deep.
Yes, still water. Yes, still water is always deep. I mean, that's why when someone is very deep in his or her life, character, qualities, they don't show off, they don't brag, they are very humble. The more Dhamma they learn, the more humble are they. Sometimes there are people who are picking up certain Dhammas, two Suri Suttas, they become very much heavy. I mean, I know that they could walk before nicely, but they can't walk. Why you can't walk now? Because a lot of Dhamma now, so serious Dhamma things I've been learning now, so cannot walk that fast. What's the problem? The more Dhamma you learn, the lighter your life should become. You have to be light. Don't have to be so much heavy. Because this is what the Dhamma is doing to us in real life. When you are very much interested about, okay, I've been coming to this class for more than 100 years, 100 days. And what is one change that I can enjoy, Okay, he's talking about when I know the true Dhamma, I become very light. My mind is light, right? And my mentality, my emotions, my relationships, I mean, the way how I engage, the way how I deal, all they become very light. I'm a very light person, right? So this is happening when you know the true Dhamma, when you are able to practice the true Dhamma. So anyways, going back to our, Pali line here, the doctrinal conflict here is that in the Theragata, Therigata, Arahants enjoy places. But here it says in the Dhammapada, Arahants don't enjoy one particular place. Actually, there is not a doctrinal conflict here. When Arahants want to enjoy nature, they enjoy it, but they don't get obsessed with them. Do we become obsessed with the nature sometimes?
Yes.
We do, right? No, there is one waterfall. I really want to go there. I don't need to go to other waterfalls, only that waterfall. What's the problem with you? I mean, no, I have a deja vu feeling over there. So people are making that. But Arahants, they are not very obsessed with one thing. Okay, today I go there. Another day I go somewhere. I'm okay with that. Right? I can take that new thing. So it looks like Arahants are very much able to take the new experiences. Is it a very important thing in today's life, in our life, to have, have the ability to experience new things in our life? I think that's a very important thing. New things means valuable, ethical new things. There may be a different idea about new things. I want to, do this and that. So there is no doctrinal conflict here. But what we need to understand is Arahants don't delight in one particular place. Nikete. Right? Te na raman te na ramanti nikete. Hansava pallalang hitva. Now Buddha is giving us an example, like a simile. What's the example? Hansava. Hansa means swans.
Swan.
Pallalang. Pallalang means muddy pond.
Lake or pond.
Muddy pond. Hitva, leaving. Hitva. Okamokam jahantimi. Okam means one place. Mokam means another place, second place. Jahantite, abandon. They abandon one dwelling after another. Is it very something noticeable for you? Swans, if they can go to different lakes, they try to do it. Why is it? That is their style. That means swans have been used to tell the nature about the Arahant's understanding about how to stay in different places. Now you might think about what do you call a digital nomad, right? A backpacker. I mean, backpacker doesn't have a house, having a very big bag going everywhere, one country to another country. Is that the Arahant's nature? What do you think? Is the backpacker reflective about the Arahant? Is someone who is having a nomad culture just because of work? I have to work in one country, go to another country, and another country, another. Is that, well, the idea looks like little closer, but Arahants, they are able to move from one place to another place, right? So they are like swans. They can leave one place for another place in their way. Now, may I ask you a simple question here? Are there any problems people go through when they cannot give up one place in their
Yes.
life?
Yes.
What
They
are the problems that people go through? I mean, let us talk about that so we'll understand about Arahant's nature here.
They cannot sleep or eat, Bhante. Always
They
thinking
cannot
about their
sleep
own
if
comfortable bed.
oh, yeah. Even they go to a hotel, they cannot sleep, right? Their pillow is not here, you are in a different place now, right? Right? And then cleanliness. Some people cannot live in a different place. Oh, I have to make it very clean. Maybe it is clean, but it's not clean enough to that person's level, right? So I met one gentleman back in Canada. He has a very big problem. He has a lot of concessions to go to a very big hotel chain, but he can never go there. Why? His wife is always saying, no, no, the hotels are not clean enough. Better stay in the house. So I mean, he's complaining, we can never go to these interesting hotels at a very cheaper rate because my wife's attitude. What to do? I had to stick to it now. This is another issue to look at. Even now here, going from house to a hotel, even for 1 day, 2 day, it's a very small time, short time, right? What are the other issues that people go through with regard to not being able to give up their house? Some people are saying, this is our grandparents' house. We cannot give it up. We have to keep it, right? Are there people like that? Yes, we cannot sell it. I mean, there's an emotional, sentimental value to that house. That is one thing. Second thing is not being able to even to leave the house for a day or two because the person has created a lot of obsessions about the cleanliness, obsessions about the certain happy things in the house. And what are the other things that people go through in not being able to give up, even for a short time, of their place?
Their routine, Bhante, they're upset that they cannot follow their own routine. They have to be with the group.
Routine, yes. They are not happy because if they could not follow their routine. And then routine problem. And what else?
Food.
Food problem. What kind of problems are there about food in going from one place to another place, even in a short term?
They like drinking coffee instead of fruit juice or tea. Addicted to their caffeine.
Okay, certain habits, right? Drinking habits, right? Food choices. Okay, that is one thing. One issue why people cannot move from one place, even for a short term. And then
Bhante, some people, especially the elderly, Chinese custom, They cannot die peacefully if they don't die at home or in a son's house. Because they're very attached to the concept of dying in the own house or in a son's house, not in the daughter's house.
Okay, okay, that is
Yeah,
another.
yeah, so it's quite suffering that way.
Yes, so that means there is a certain custom in the culture that it is better to die in the son's house. So what if there is no son for that lady? Then how would
Apparently,
that go?
apparently one of our friends' grandmother, she couldn't die
Uh-huh.
because the sons didn't want to take her in, so she was staying with my friend's mother, means her daughter. She couldn't die for a few rounds, couldn't die. I think eventually she did pass away, but I can't recall where. But yeah, she told me the grandma insists must die in the son's house.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes, now, yes, yes.
If she couldn't die, isn't that good?
Yeah, we will discuss that after now.
Suffering.
I'm still
Spoil.
gathering information. Yes. Okay, let me touch that particular thing. That's a custom, right? I think not even in Chinese culture, there is a certain custom people think that parents like to die in the house, not in the hospital. Normally, the idea is these hospitals can be haunted by different people, right? Many people die in the hospital. This is a common idea in many Asian cultures, right? So then, even some elderly people might feel, okay, are you bringing me to hospital? Yes, because we cannot take care of you now. So you scared me dying in our house, right? So people have different thoughts about it, right? So certain, what do you call, cultural norms. Yes, Susan? You have something to add?
Oh, yes, Bhante. And what about when your financial position changes and you can't afford the big family home? Then you could become financially distraught, and it can bring you difficult times because you won't leave that house.
Yes. Yes, that's a good point. Like, I mean, this is happening in the Western countries too. Sometimes they buy a big house, they pay mortgage. Now, the house can accommodate parents and maybe other kids, 2 to 3 kids. But when the kids go to the university, what is the purpose of maintaining a big house for 2 people, right? This is one thing. As you mentioned, not being able to maintain the house, maybe paying mortgage and all that. So at that point, have to leave the house for a smaller house. I think that feeling is not very, easy for some people. We were living in a big house. Now, how come we have to go to this small house? Yes, that is one other issue. And then, what are the other issues that you may have seen with regard people not being able to give up emotionally, mentally, physically, uh, their places in their life of residence?
Their companion, Bhante, normally
Their
their
friends,
friends or
companions,
this that
relatives.
have to get to know new friends or this that troublesome, they said. They prefer to cling with their existing friends.
Perhaps what you mean in the larger, broader sense is not willing to accept the new culture.
Yeah.
If you migrate to a different country, like, sometimes the weather problem, new people are different. They are not like our country people, right? So not being able to be adjusted to a new atmosphere, also a problem in not being able to give up one house. Yes, Chan, please.
Some people ego, they like the big house and they do not feel good staying in a condo which is smaller. They don't see that now the family has only 2 people. They don't need a big house. It's more practical to stay in a condo. But like my husband, a bit ego. Is it the same way?
Yeah, they
Well,
don't want to downsize.
that's a good
As my
point.
husband.
Thank you for being very honest. I hope that's a very brutal review, though.
Yeah, Bhante, I'm having the same problem.
Yes.
My husband just refused to downsize. Even the children are encouraging us to change to a smaller house because
Mm.
nobody, only my husband and me, but we are staying
Yes.
in a big house.
I mean, it's very good to do a cost-cutting approach if there are only two people in a very big house. I mean, perhaps you cannot even clean the house. I mean, you know, it
Yes,
is very difficult. You
we are
can't even bring
getting
people to
old.
clean this house.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't believe the maids who come to your house, you know,
Mm.
security-wise and all that. But still, you want to show people that we are in a big house, right? Just like how you said. So,
But Bante, I got good news. He has agreed finally.
okay, great. See?
Rejoice.
Thank you, thank you.
For
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Great. That means something has happened
Yes,
and he has changed his mindset.
yes,
Finally,
yes, yes.
he has been able to understand
Accept.
the
Yeah, yeah.
reality, right? Yeah.
But Bante, not easy to uproot. We have been born and stay in Malacca for so long. Then now, if we uproot, we have to uproot to JB because my children, my son-in-law, daughter, all are in Singapore. So they say any emergency, just take the electric train, 20 minutes, 10 minutes, Kautim. Malacca, difficult.
Yes. Yes. So children are also very concerned about the
Concern,
parents,
yes,
right?
because we are getting old.
Yes. Yes. So yeah, and what Chan mentioned about that idea, like she said, it's kind of an ego. Yes, kind of ego. But on the other side, when you have children, they are more concerned about your well-being. So I
Yes,
think we have to let them um, do what they can do, right?
yes.
Otherwise, it's like what some people are doing, I just write my own funeral. And what about the children? Children have to follow that. I mean, children are also part of you. So then why don't you give a chance to them how they think about because it's a part of their life also, right? So I think we have to um, consider our children when it comes to making decisions sometime, right? Not just to maintain our so-called different ideas about it. So I think, yes, ego is one thing about big house and all that. Yes, Polly, what you need to add?
Bante, sometimes if we cling on to the place, if upon our demise, maybe would we be reborn as like a spirit or something there, And some people can't leave the house, so they may continue to dwell in that place as a ghost or something. I think that's a
Oh,
fear.
they
Or
have thought that far, right?
yeah, I think they are, or maybe reborn as
That's
a
what we
mouse or
heard.
something.
Okay, this is another problem, like when you cling to something over time, not even to the house, even to other things. Yes, there is a chance of you ending up like that.
Mm.
I think that's not a good thing because we know hungry ghost, being a hungry ghost is not a good thing according to the Buddhist texts. And we have to do the necessary things uh, not to be dragged onto that kind of a thing. So I mean, if we can think that far, why can't we think this far, which arahants do, what the Buddhist texts are talking about, what to do, right? Yeah. So, anyways, now we learned a lot of aspects of why some people are having a lot of challenges in not being able to move from one place to another place. Some are very pathetic. We have to pity on some people. Some are very terrible with regard to the practice. But anyways, arahants are not having this issue according to the stanza. Now let us keep going. The next. Okamokam. Okamokam means one place to another place. Now think about the traveling has become very easier now, right? Sometimes there are people who eat in one country the breakfast and they take their lunch in another country and they sleep in another country. Now, this didn't happen maybe 20 years ago. Even 15 years ago, traveling has not become this easier, right? So then if the traveling can become that easier and what you call lighter, at that point, what we need to understand is perhaps that what you call space, that ability to move from one place to another place in a very short period of time should help us understand we should not stick to one place too obsessively, right? Think about a long time ago when you take a flight, your flight is taking off, and then just before the taking of the flight is everything that you know about other people until you go to the other place of the destination. But nowadays, when people take off, they are even talking to their loved ones in the air,
Yes.
right? Through
Yes.
the satellite, Wi-Fi, and all these things, right? So things have developed to that level. So then, if that development helping us to give up unnecessary attachments, obsessions, compulsions with regard to where we live, I think we have to look at that thing too here because Arahants are giving us a very interesting example for that. All right, we will discuss the rest here. We will read this part too. This verse portrays the inner renunciation of awakened, earnest practitioners, mean definitely arahants. Dwelling, one dwelling, second dwelling, okamokata, refers not merely to physical home but to mental clinging. Comfort zone, this is something very interesting. Comfort zone, where we discuss about nicotine addiction, caffeine addiction, right? Daily routine addictions, so requisites, identities, views, emotional shelters. What about this thing, identity problem? Do people have a problem with regard to keeping their identity, and that has kind of stopped them in not being able to change their places because of their identity? There could be certain situations in some people's life that their own identity about their nationality, their culture, their life, maybe the way how they do things, might have incapacitated them not being able to move in that kind of a fluid way. The image of swans leaving a muddy pond suggests discernment. When nourishment is exhausted, they move on freely. Likewise, the mindful practitioner does not cling even to refined states, but keeps letting go moment by moment. Right? I think it's pretty clear. So before we get to a little bit of deeper information about this teaching, let us look at the story. What is the story of this verse? The story is about Venerable Arahant Mahakashyapa. In one Vassa time, Shakyamuni Buddha spent his Vassa in Rajagaha. Of course, what was the very famous temple that is in Rajagaha? We'll ask from those who went to India 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. What's the place is that?
Jetavana.
Rajagaha?
Oh, Rajagaha is
Veluvanaram, right? Veluvanaram. What is Velu?
Bamboo.
Bamboo. Velu means bamboo. You know, in the Buddha Vansa, where you see all the Buddha's information, we find that bamboo tree was a Bodhi tree for a previous Buddha. Bamboo tree. Do you feel the respect for the bamboo tree sometime? For a Bodhi tree? Then now today, you know, bamboo tree also can be a Bodhi tree. And banyan tree. Bamboo tree, banyan tree. So there were 28 trees for 28 Buddhas for their Bodhi. Not only one Bodhi. Now you see the India Mahabodhi, Sri Lanka, and you know those small places. But if you look at the Buddha Vansa, where you see the history of all the previous Buddhas, starting from Tanankara, you see that different Buddhas had different Bodhi tree. One Buddha had bamboo tree. Anyway, so Veluvanarama supposed to be surrounded with many bamboo trees. Now the Buddha spent 3 months. Then what happened? The Buddha then told Venerable Ananda, you inform the temple, perhaps Jetavanarama in the Hosala's place, that we are leaving Rajagaha at the end of the Vasa now. I think almost at the end of the Vasa. So within 2 weeks of time, 14 to 15 days, we are leaving. So then what happened was the monks, they wanted to wash their robes at that time. Maybe now they have been using their robes for some time. They wanted to wash them. So they started washing their robes. At this time, Arahan Mahakashyapa also started washing his robe. The other monks were a little surprised. This Arahan Mahakashyapa has a very big crowd. Many people respect him. So why don't the devotees come and wash his robe? Why are not devotees going and helping him? Why is he coming to wash his own robe? They were kind of concerned. Maybe when Arahan Mahakashyapa might have thought, why should I disturb devotees? It's just a robe. I go and wash it by myself, although he has a large devotee group. Anyways, now this was happening. The other monks were just, they are having their own chit-chat about this thing. And now Buddha is trying to now leave Rajagaha. At that point, Buddha thought, now we spent 3 months in Rajagaha, in this Rama temple. So it might be better to leave one monk here. Not that we all leave the temple, because at the end of the Vasa time, there may be more people who might be coming to Rajagaha Rama for different festivals, occasions, festivals, for blessings and all that. So it is not very good to leave this temple. We should not leave altogether. So I should ask someone not to come with us, but to live in the temple. Then he was thinking, who should I ask? Okay, Venerable Arahan Mahakashyapa, because everybody likes him. Many devotees like him. So he is the one who can really handle this thing. So the Buddha asked him, Arahan Mahakashyapa, we are leaving. Can you stay in the Rajagaha Rama temple? After we left, was for a few other months. He said, yes, he can't say no to the Buddha. He said, yes, I will stay in the temple. Then what happened? Other monks become more curious now. He's not even leaving the temple now. We all are leaving. He's not leaving the temple. Earlier, he started washing his robe. Now he's not. I think he has a clinging to the temple now. So they were chit-chatting, in different places. Arahan Mahakashyapa is wearing a robe or ropes that he made from dead bodies. He's saying he is only eating once a day. He is not mingling with other monks a lot. Now it looks like his practice is a very different practice. That's why he doesn't even like to leave the temple. Now I have a question to ask you. Why is there an idea, like a certain public perception among monks, maybe devotees too, that monks have to leave the temple time to time? Now, Vassa, we understand 3 months, monks are going to stay at the temple, right? Let us talk about the Vassa a little bit now. Vassa has to come in few months, right? But we discuss now, no problem. We learn some new stuff here. May I know what is the purpose of Vassa? What is the purpose? We go to the temple, we invite the monks to stay in the temple, and then that's it, right? And then we do a Katna ceremony after 3 months. Is it the purpose?
For
What
more
is the purpose of
stringent
Vassa?
practice, Bhante, for
So
more
that they
stringent practice of meditation and so on. Any
no,
Spiritual practice.
Bhante,
Meditation.
is it so that they don't go out and then because it's raining, a lot of small insects, so they don't step on them and
Okay,
kill them?
that is the visible reason. Yes, that's the visible reason, because some people complain to the Buddha, your disciples, they are really
Moving
doing
around.
their missionary service during the rain time. Look at other disciples. Other monks, of other teachers, they never go this time. Why? One thing is raining. Second thing is when you are walking in the rain, you are stepping on the new grass, and you might be stepping on some other
Insect.
tiny creatures, right? I
Creatures.
think they should stop in one place. So this is why the Buddha was impressed, and Buddha said, okay, from this year onwards, you should stay in one place. But that is not the overall purpose of that staying. The rain was the problem, yes. And then the most important thing
For the
that
practice.
helps.
Bhante, is it for the practice to teach the Dhamma to the devotees?
Yes, the most important thing behind the Vasa is a number of monks staying in one particular temple to specifically teach the devotees in that temple. So monks, nuns can teach devotees, and if there are misunderstanding about it, if there are confusions about Dhamma, they can fine tune together. You know, when you are working up with Sangha members, sometimes you may come up with some confusions, right? With regard to certain things. It can happen, right? Because they all are human beings too. It could be about temple, it could be about donations, it could be about dana. There may be slight misunderstanding. But when both parties work together to learn more Dhamma, during that time, you are not talking administration. You are not talking about any other thing. You are talking about Bhante teach us the true Dhamma, which the Buddha taught us. So those qualified, knowledgeable, wise Sangha members or whoever going to teach, and devotees ask questions. So they clear their doubts. This is the most important thing that should happen during the Vasa time. Okay. Now, my question earlier was, Vasa time we understand monks stay in one place. Then what are monks supposed to do?
Oh, they
Keep
have
staying in
some,
the same temple after 3 months, after Katina nowadays.
they have some rites and ritual ceremonies that need the monk to provide the spiritual guidance and do the necessary rites and rituals.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
Yes, so my question is, after the 3 months of the Vasa, after the Katna ceremony even, are those monks supposed to stay in the temple according to this
No,
early idea? Not now, I'm not talking from today's world.
they have to travel
They
and
have to travel.
preach.
Why do they have to travel? That is
Preach.
the Buddha's advice. Don't stay in one place.
Spread the Dhamma.
Spread the Dhamma. Charata bhikkave charikam, charata bhikkave. Now you are going on some holidays, right? You think you need to travel. The more you travel, the more like tolerant you might be about different cultures, different food, different people. Monks, Sangha members, they have to travel. The Buddha asked them, Charata bhikkave charikam bahujana hutai, for the benefit of many people. And not even that, what did the Buddha say? Ma ekena dve agamenta. What does it mean?
Not
let
supposed to
one travel in the same, not two travel
not
in the same
supposed
direction.
To travel in the
To
same way.
travel
That
in
means
the
they have
same
to spread
direction.
around.
separate way.
Spread
To
around.
propagate the
That
Dhamma.
is how they have to teach the Dhamma. So that means the rest of the 9 months, they have to travel in the proper way. And traveling also might involve some problems in today's world. But they should be able to go from one center to another center, vihara, teach Dhamma, right? So this is the idea. But it is not bad for one monk to stay in the temple for the whole year because of administration and all that, what we go through in today's world. But the ideal idea is better to travel, because traveling is not just for fun, not just to see the adventurous things. Traveling is to teach the Dhamma, because when you spread the Dhamma, it will become a Dhamma chakra, a wheel of the Dhamma. It's going here and there. It is not stopping anyway. So let me tell you, that's why monks thought, why Arahant Mahakasyapa now stay in the same temple? He has to leave. He should also live like us. And then the Buddha said, no, You have misunderstood. I am the one who asked Arahan Mahakashyapa to stay in the temple. Because when we all leave the temple, if a devotee comes to the temple, who is going to address the devotee's concern? Right? Now you go to a vihara, all the monks are out for 1 week, 2 weeks, but you want to give a dana, right? Now you are donating to that temple all the while. You are going there, supporting everything, huh? But you cannot give a dana to any Sangha member for 2 weeks, 3 weeks sometime. Are you comfortable with that experience? I don't think you will be comfortable. You can go somewhere else, but that might not be a very comfortable thing for you. That's why Buddha teaches Sangha members, if you are the chief monk in the temple, if you are running a temple, you should know to appoint one monk when you go out, so devotees can approach him or her. So everything will be happening smoothly. So Buddha was a very good leader, right? He's a very good administrator. He was a very good leader. That's why he understands what could happen if we do as such, right? So the idea about the stanza here is the Buddha taught those other monks, you misunderstood. Arahan Mahakashyapa has no problem. He can move from one place to another place. Then he said, Arahan Mahakashyapa is reflective about Uyun Janti Sati Manto Nanikete. Right? We go back again here. Uyun Janti Sati Manto Nanikete Ramantite. Arahan Mahakashyapa is rightly mindful and he is applying his Dhamma life with Avajjana, Samapajjana, Aditthana, Utthana, Paccavekkhana. He is like a swan, Hansava Pallalangitva, Okamokan. He is not attached to one particular place. He's such a free person, right? He's a free person. Right. All right, now with this, we are going into some of the notes we are going to learn here with regard to the stanza. Then we will go into a Q&A later on. Okay. Dwelling nowhere, serving everywhere. Dwelling nowhere, serving everywhere. This is the idea. Just like the swans. Right mindfulness naturally leads to exertion, constant practice. Okay, can we discuss this a little bit here? The verse begins by linking right mindfulness with right effort, which has all those five. The mindful one, the right mindful ones, don't merely observe, they apply themselves continuously. This shows that Samma Sati in early Buddhism is not passive awareness, but an active, vigilant engagement with life. Arahan Mahakashyapa's conduct reflects this. His renunciation was not symbolic, but lived through disciplined action and readiness to move when conditions. May I share with you a very interesting story about him? Actually, what happened to Venerable Mahakashyapa at the end? Was Venerable Mahakashyapa around the Buddha when he passed away?
No.
No,
No.
Bhante.
No,
He said
Bhante.
He was
Because
not there, but he came later on.
It is said that he came later on. What actually happened? It is said in the Buddhist text that Arahan Mahakashyapa and the Shakyamuni Buddha look
Alike.
same.
Yeah, during
Look
Pindacharya.
exactly same.
Yes.
But there was a slight change with their height. The Buddha was very tall. Maybe there's a certain height difference between the Buddha and Arahan Mahakashyapa. But for many people, ordinary people, they cannot recognize Buddha from Arahan Mahakashyapa. So they saw Buddha and Arahan Mahakashyapa to be the same. What happened, perhaps during this time, or during this story time, there was a old lady who was giving food to Arahan Mahakashyapa every day. So every day she was getting ready to give food to Arahan Mahakashyapa. She was very much fond of him. Like, my son is coming, I'm going to give the food to him. Like this. one day, the Buddha went on Pindapata on the same road. So she, without what do you call, without change, she thought the Arahant Mahakashapa is coming now, right? My son is coming now. So she was ready. Then she scooped all the rice and then placed inside the Buddha's alms bowl. She was happily saying sadhu. And then she was doing this for many years, actually, by that time. And then after a while, she noticed the very familiar person is coming. She was looking at, okay, perhaps I misunderstood. So I think I gave the Pindapata Dana to the wrong monk. I think you never have this idea. You never think that I gave Pindapata to the wrong monk. The monks are monks, right? Some members. So what happened? Okay, I have no food prepared now. I have to run to that earlier monk. Said Bhante, I think I was preparing food for the other monk that I was very familiar with. So then the Buddha gave the alms bowl. So she scooped back all the food that she placed. And then she ran and then offered into the bowl of Arahant Mahakashyapa. Arahant Mahakashyapa looked ahead. He saw that he was extremely embarrassed about what happened. If the lady had known that she offered to the Buddha, took back the Buddha's food from his alms bowl, gave to me, what kind of worry she might be carrying after that. So then Arahant Mahakashyapa thought, from today, I'm not going to stay with the Buddha anymore. I go to the forest, Aranya. So he left. So another thing that we notice is that Buddha didn't have all those lights that you see in the shrine hall now, right? You go to the shrine hall, Buddha has many lights around him, 4, 5 lights. Buddha had no light, Only when he wants to teach about certain things, the lights might have come. But if the Buddha had lights, the devotee could have understood this is the Buddha, right? Buddha was a normal person, natural normal person. That's why she couldn't recognize, right? So, what happened now? Arahant Mahakashyapa went to the forest, but he made a determination on the same day. I will not come back to the city again. I will come back only when the Buddha passed away. And he made a determination. May nobody, uh, may nobody light the fire of the Buddha's coffin. May it only be me who could light the fire of the Buddha's coffin when he passed away. Actually, Buddha passed away after some time. So then all the kings and royal people, other monks, they got together. Now they were trying to light the fire. Nobody could do. Then they understood, until Arahant Mahakashyapa is to come to this place, you cannot light the fire, because he made a determination. So Arahant Mahakashyapa is such after that, what happened? He took care of the Sanghasasana after the Buddha, and then he managed the first convocation. He was the main figure after that. But Arahant Mahakashyapa was such a very humble person. He was very embarrassed when he saw Buddha was going through that thing. And he wanted devotee to create more good karma at that point, right? So what we need to know here is that right mindfulness is always with enlightened ones with their practice. Second, non-delight in abodes, places, temples, viharas means freedom from psychological setting. Right? Arahant Mahakashyapa did not settle even in respect, devotion, abundance, or support. His thoughts remain unlocated. Right? I think this is a very good thing if we can practice, although you have a house. One day, if you have to go out of the house for some time, even you may have to make a decision about your house, I think you should be able to have the enough courage to do so, right? I mean, depending on how you are going to make sure the fairness, safety of your loved ones too. But never try to have an obsession about where you stay. When the right time comes, you should be okay to go from that place. That is the nature of the enlightened ones, which we understand in the story. Renunciation is proven where reverence is abundant. Arahan Mahakash was surrounded by devotees, relatives, and supporters who provided the four requisites with deep respect. Yet abundance can easily breed subtle clinging. His life shows that true renunciation is tested not in scarcity but in comfort. He accepted requisites without psychological ownership, exemplifying use without clinging. Sometimes when you get a lot of things from other people, you may have a feeling that I am more respected. So I have to have this obsession. Every day I should have this thing, right? But Arahan Mahakash was very humble. Even people offer or not, he was okay, right? So there are some other notes, so please read all these notes. Finally, non-resident mode of living, dwelling without settling, is the fruit of abandoning I and mine. The deepest meaning of leaving abode after abode, place after place, oka moka. Oka, one place, moka, another place. Jahanti is the abandonment of appropriation. Because arahants are free from the notion of I live here, this supports me, no situation can imprison them. Right? So they are not obsessed, they are not driven by, they are not bothered by, I stay here, I live here, only because of this I can live here and all these things. I think it's a very, finally what we need to nail this down to is that whether there is an urge for us to leave our place for a worthier cause, for a better thing, or not, we should be able to change our places anytime, right? So that is a quality of arahants, according to the stanza. All right, now we can have a Q&A depending on the time. We have a question at the beginning until you ask a question. Bhante, are the wholesome states, kusala states, are the Brahma Viharas or the absence of greed, hatred, delusion? Would it advisable to start by practicing equanimity, more of a state of neutrality rather than practicing generating wholesome states? First, well, when you say kusala states, they are mostly related to alobha, dosa, amoha, where the Brahma Viharas are having their framework on. Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekka should come from alobha, dosa, amoha. Otherwise, our metta might have certain ulterior motive, right? Now think about someone is practicing metta, but still driven by the greed. Is it possible? It's possible, right? I mean, outside the person is wishing, may you be well, happy, but the greed might still be there. I only want to do this and that way, right? So I think when it comes to kusala states across the canon text, what we see is we have to go beyond lobha dosa moha, that means alobha dosa moha, dana, metta, and panya. This is the framework of metta, karuna, mudita, upekka, Brahma Viharas. Finally, through Brahma Viharas, we can stay on to the practice, but mainly alobha, dosa, moha are the three kusala roots. We don't see that metta, karuna, mudita, upekka are kusala roots. They are the certain qualities we practice in our daily life when our practice is based on alobha, dosa, moha. All right, what are the questions? If you have a question, please raise your virtual hand so I will be able to take the question. So what are the questions about today? Today,
Bhante,
yes, Kevin, please.
sorry, I couldn't find the virtual hand.
No problem. Yeah.
Yeah, about the Buddha requesting that the monks don't stay in a vihara for long. Could it also be related to the possibility of the devotees beginning to choose their favorite Sangha member and only focus on providing the four requisites to this particular member?
Not necessarily, because even the monk is traveling to another place, they are following him, right?
Yeah, that's one
If
possibility.
there is a
Yeah.
favoritism, let's say they are going from Rajagaha to now, Arhan Mahakashapa had the same group of people. Well, yes, in today's world, if you see that the way how temples run, we could think so. But the main idea was the Buddha asked monks to travel because then they can spread the Dhamma, not just give Dhamma talks to temple people every day. That is one thing. Second thing is that only when you spread the Dhamma, you are motivated as a monk. You know, when you are a Sangha member, the more Dhamma you teach, then the more Dhamma qualities that you will be motivated into. Because the Sangha members also have to maintain their practice, right? And then the third thing is, in this particular story, what the Buddha understands is that maybe Buddha is giving an exception to this rule. What is the rule? Sometimes, now say for instance, let's say monks are changing in one temple every 3 months. Okay, every 3 months, monks are changing in the temple. Could this be a problem to devotees too? Devotees don't know the monks. Sometimes they don't know how to interact with them, right? I remember there was a real case that happened in a temple somewhere else. Sometimes when devotees want to transfer good karmas to their beloved ones, only the monk who has been staying in the temple knows better about families. Father, mother, grandfather, grandmother. So that day, the talk was given by a visiting monk. That monk doesn't know about the families. So they were not happy about it. So I think there are some other relative fair reasons for some monks to continue in the temple. But what we should not forget is that, let's say you happen to stay in one temple, but you should not forget about giving Dhamma to other people by traveling whenever possible. That particular Sangha member has to maintain it. So in that way, there are pros and cons on the both sides. But the Buddha's idea is try to travel. Otherwise, favoritism is something that you cannot stop very easily because they are following, right? Following means following, right? Yes.
Could it also
Yes.
be with different Sangha members giving talks, the audience, the lay followers, basically hear the Dharma from different perspectives?
Yeah, that could be another thing. Yes, that could be a good thing. Yes. Because the thing here is that now we are talking about the Arahan monks traveling here and there, right? Not ordinary monks. Then the problem is very minimized. Nowadays we have a lot of monks, right? Sometimes when we are talking Dhamma, we may have some confusions too. Sometimes. Now Buddha is asking Arahants to travel here, right? Now, even that advice, Charata Bhikkhave Charikang Bahujana Hitaya Bahujana Sukhaya, was given to his Arahan monks. So Buddha is making sure none of them is talking. That is unnecessary.
The first 60 Arahants.
Yes, he's talking to them. Yes, Melin, this.
Bhante, I think just now you mentioned that there's this Asian superstition or cultural belief, not only as to be as to where you live, but as to where you die. Bhante said you may talk a little bit about it. Is there
Ah,
Bhante may want to
okay,
elaborate
okay.
on
No,
it?
I was telling you the same thing that I noticed in some other cultures. Now you said in Chinese culture, mother likes to die in the son's house, right? Uh, right? This is something new to me. Now, what I know is that in some South Asian cultures, parents like dying in their houses compared to dying in the hospital. If they can get an opportunity to die in the house, they are happier than being, dead in the hospitals because they believe that hospitals are um, good places for them to die. Maybe they want to die by being in the house. I mean, the house that they have been staying for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, they are more comfortable to die in that place or something like that. Yes, so it's kind of a South Asian, Sri Lankan as well, I think. This is something I notice. Because in one case, I noticed one grandma, I mean, mother, was blaming the children. Why are you bringing me to hospital? You think I'm going to die in the house? Actually, this is what she wanted to. She wanted to die in the house. She feels very comfortable. But the doctors advise you cannot keep her in the house. There is no gas, oxygen, and all that. You have to bring her to the hospital, right? But anyway, she died in the house finally. I think that made her wish happen. Yeah.
Because Bante die in
Yes.
the house because it's familiar environment. They are more
Yes, I
easier
think I
to
think they are
go.
very happy to die. They
Happy.
are less stressed to die in
Yes,
that way.
familiar.
Mm. I think it has a very psychological, emotional reason to die that.
Bhante, her friend, the father made it very clear they cannot bring him back to the house because he doesn't want to die in the house, so that there will be no like death in the house. So it's the reverse. So all kinds of beliefs. So the father said, "Don't bring me back to the house."
No,
So
because I
different
think that
people.
culture, sorry, the culture is because, especially when die outside, cannot bring back to the house. That sort
Mm.
of culture.
Well,
Unless die in the house, then okay.
Mm. I think what we need to understand is different people have different thoughts. Perhaps these three ideas. I don't want to die in the house. I want to die in the house. I think if the relatives can accommodate what could be the best according to the medical advice, that could be a good thing, right? I think it depends on the condition. So, but anyways, when we see that I really want to die in the house, that can create a certain obsession to that. If I die somewhere else, that might not be a happy thing for that person, right? All right. So I think let me recap once again. Today we learn about Arahant's nature of how they regard about places. Arahants are super flexible. They are able to live in any place in the world, anywhere. They are not bothered by, I must stay only in this place. But if the Buddha asks, if they think I should stay here for the benefit of many, they might stay, just like Arahant Mahakasha. So what is the takeaway for you as lay people is that never be troubled by the places when it comes to your Dhamma life. The Dhamma life is Dhamma life. XYZ things should not matter to you. But you are ethically, you are making sure fairness, safety, accommodation with regard to what other people you, what do you call, tolerate. With all these things on the side, you are making sure that I should not be bothered by place mentality. I should only have this place to practice and all that. So I think this is the larger, bigger takeaway that we can take here. So then now at this point, we are going to transfer the good karmas. So on the 1st of January 2026, we discussed something very important. And it's about, transitioning, traveling, between places and all that. So we learned that we should not be stuck to one place, even emotionally, mentally, not even physically. So that way we are super open to understand how we are going to bring our practice forward. So may all the teachings that we learned today through this Dhammapada stanza 91, we transfer to all the departed ones who passed away in the name of all of us. May departed ones be well and happy. May they attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Idang me nyati nang hotu sukita huntu nyatayo. Idang me nyati nang hotu sukita huntu nyatayo. Idang me nyati nang hotu sukita huntu nyatayo. May Deva Naga Mahindika receive all these good karmas. May they be well and happy. May they protect and bless all of us. Especially this is a very interesting moment to request the Deva's assistance. May Deva Naga Mahindika protect and bless all of you, including your family members, for good health, quality of life, safety, prosperity, and safety. May they also finally attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Ettavata cha amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavata cha amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavata cha amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Akasattha cha bhummatta devanaga mahindika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu sasanang. Akasattha cha bhummatta devanaga mahindika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu desanang. Akasattha cha bhummatta devanaga mahindika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu mang parang chirang rakkhantu tvam sadati. Next is our aspiration. I think this is the most important aspiration we can make on this kind of a day. May we be never surrounded with what you call papa mittras, unwholesome friends. May we always be surrounded with kalyana mittras who can teach, who can guide us with regard to saddha, sila, chaga, panya. May we also become kalyana mittras to as many sentient beings as we meet in our samsara life till we attain Nibbana. With this noble intention, let us make the most important aspiration on the 1st of January 2026. Imina punya kammena mami bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yava nibbana patya. Finally, may all the good karmas we be making today on the very first day of the year with regard to our class be supportive and helpful for all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Abhivadana siddhissa niccang vaddha pachaino chattaro dhamma vaddhanti ayuvanno sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti me vacha ato nibbana sampatti iminate samikshatu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. With those blessings, wishing you a pleasant good evening. Once again, Happy New Year, everyone. And may this year be the year that you are achieving a lot of success in your Dhamma journey. And I look forward to seeing you next Thursday at the same time. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Bhante.
Bhante.
Good night, Bhante.
Good night, everyone.
Sadhu, sadhu,
Thank you,
sadhu.
Bhante. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Sadhu.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you.